I'm Adam.
I'm Ben.
And today we're going to be checking out baritone guitars.
So make sure you stick around to the end to find out why you've probably been getting your scale length choices all wrong.
Baritone, bass 6, scale length. All I know is that we love low tunings and we love baritones, not only for the fact that they're, regularly used in contemporary music that we like, the kind of like metal in the gent scene, but also how this instrument that you might not see every day can be a path to a new creative realm. So Ben, let's go with the basic. What is a baritone?
So, these are a baritone.
They are.
That over there is a baritone. Technically, this 7-string is a baritone. So it's anything that's got a longer scale length.
Yeah.
So typically like 25.5-inch scale, which is what you see on like, your Fenders of the world and Ibanez standard scale. Shorter than that, Gibson 24.75. That's your typical standard.
Yeah.
Technically a baritone's anything that's more than that. But when most people go, that's a baritone,
Yeah.
it's 26.5, 27 inches, round that kind of point, people start calling it a baritone.
Yeah, and there's kind of this murky area which you get to, which is anything above 27 and 28. You kind of get this area which is, in 1961, was introduced by Fender, which was the bass 6. Now, bass 6, 30-inch.
Yeah.
And with that, it allows you to do a whole heap of stuff.
Well, yeah, it's an octave below standard, a bass 6. And I think what they were trying to do when they came up with the idea of the bass 6 is make a bass guitar that a guitarist can comfortably play. So if you look at like the string space in between strings on an electric guitar, quite close together. On a bass guitar, they're much further apart.
Yeah.
So what that was trying to do is get something that has the pitch and the tone of a bass, but something that's comfortable and playable for a guitarist to use. But in doing that, what they did was opened up this whole Pandora's box of options for guitarists.
Yeah.
And they just went crazy with it. Like, there's loads of bands in the 60s. Obviously, Beatles were known for using them. But look it up. There's absolutely loads of people that have used a baritone. Yeah. And more often than not, it wasn't actually to use it as a bass. It was more to use it as a guitar. Yeah. And I think that's kind of the thing that's stuck with guitarists is it's a cool extra sound that you can delve into that's, giving you more notes.
Yeah,
effectively.
Absolutely. And I think, you kind of touched on it there. Bands in the 60s, so the Beatles, when Get Back came out, John Lennon is famously playing some riffs on his new bass 6 that he's just got. Yeah. When I think of, baritone and bass 6 players that aren't metal and are, metal didn't really exist in the 60s and the 70s. You're looking at players like Cream, that was used there. Obviously the Beatles, then more contemporary, you've got Placebo. I wouldn't exactly call them metal. And The Cure. Famously, Robert Smith has his own kind of signature Schecter, which is kind of crazy looking.
Yeah, the Ultra Crow.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. It fits the Cure, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
But they're not strictly bass players.
Yeah.
It wasn't Paul McCartney playing it was John Lennon, And in this situation here, we've got a really good example of that, which is the brand new revised G4M 638 Baritone VI. Obviously, the VI kind of referring to the fact that this is a 30-inch scale length. So, Ben, you want to pick it up?
Yeah, absolutely. So what I love about these guitars is just that added range, like we're saying. It gives you more access to more notes, but it also gives you more access to different string choices. So say you just, you like that sort of bit longer scale feeling, it's more comfortable for you to play, maybe you've got bigger hands. Yeah. If you were to, say, put on a gauge of 11 or something like that, you could actually tap into a really nice sounding B standard, and because you've got that extended scale, you get a bit more sustain, there's a bit more snap to the note, and, tighter string tension. Yeah. Whereas, obviously the strings that it comes with, I think is it 14 on the top?
Yeah, we've put 14s on these new revised ones. And the reason for that is more so the fact that it is the playability, as you say. These aren't necessarily built for just insanely low tunings, jun, jun, jun.
But they can do that, absolutely.
It can obviously do that. And, contemporary-wise, the series, the G4M 638, has been used in that world quite a lot, which is great. They all sound amazing, but there's also players that want to do some more big chord options. There's players that want to kind of play some more country stuff, as country is becoming a massive thing in the country now. Luke Combs just sold out Wembley in 4 seconds. So, it's bonkers. Then you can play surf on it as well. So it's not really typecast to just that, which is why having a slightly smaller gauge string than just the really heavy things. It just makes it so much more playable.
Absolutely. And I think the gauge of string that these came with out of the box, I found sat really well in F sharp standard, which, for those of you who don't know, on an 8-string guitar, the low string on an 8 is an F sharp. So if you don't want to have, a fretboard the size of an ironing board to play, it gives you the access to those low tones, but does it in a really familiar, comfortable kind of shape.
Yeah.
And immediately you can start doing the Meshuggah-y type 8-string genty boy stuff if you want on something that you're comfortable playing.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I think if we look at kind of like current contemporary musicians that are playing these, they're not necessarily going for the 8 strings, which it was 5 to 10 years ago. People are more so going for 6 strings, lower tuning. It's much more comfortable to play, in my opinion. Whereas, I'm not massively a fan of the 8s because, I'll be honest, I'm a sloppy player. So the fewer strings as possible for me to hit, excellent. And the players that do 8-string, fantastic, incredibly musicians, but I can't do that. So having something like this that allow me kind of that sonic range is fantastic.
I think that's it. It's
so
where
nice.
You've got guys a real guitar virtuoso and you want to get all of the notes out of it. It's like a grand piano player. Like you want the full range of access to all of the notes.
Yeah.
Whereas this is more, it's designed to just churn out good riffs. Like it's not about showing off and shredding. It's about getting something with some real groove and bounce to it.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of applies even when you listen back to some of the older stuff. That's kind of how it was used then as well. It's just the modern version of that, where it's kind of Loathe and bands like that are using this for that sort of style. It's still doing it the same kind of way. They've just made it heavier.
Yeah, and I think the way that kind of, if we were to kind of put it in this contemporary world of kind of like the metal side, you look at bands like Sleep Token who are doing arenas sold out across the world, have just headlined Download, are going to obviously carry on headlining Download for years to come. They've gone from playing 7 and 8 strings to long scale baritones. It's just a fit and feel thing. And the other thing about that is, whilst they have the metal aspect, they've also got so many little intricate details, which is stuff you can do on this. So I think it's worth playing on this guitar.
Yes, let's see what it sounds like.
Hearing what it sounds like, yeah. Because not only does it look fantastic, with kind of talking about the contemporary, we've gone for a couple of new colorways on this as well. So we've gone for this kind of like stunning pastel pink with this another really nice deep green. And for the first time, we have introduced the 638 left-handed. So lefties, now's your chance.
Finally got some love.
That's it, yeah. And the main appointment to this is the brand new roasted maple neck.
Yeah, which is lovely. Immediately I noticed a difference in sustain. It's got a little bit more to it. There's a little bit more snap in the top end, which if you're doing those real kind of groove-orientated, low-tuned riffs, instantly works really well for it. And particularly when you're trying to put a sound together for these things, you want to roll a lot of the bass frequencies off, which is really counterintuitive because you think you're adding low range by tuning lower, you want more low end. Actually, when it comes to tone shaping, you want to control that and tidy it up so it doesn't become too muddy and too thick.
Yeah.
And that neck actually helps with that. It kind of has more of that sound just out of the guitar, like when it hits the amp.
And they just look stunning as well. They're really, really nice, really pretty necks.
It's a cool
and
thing.
It's a real nice combination. But let's hear it as well.
Yeah. So we'll start off with a bit of a clean patch.
I mean, I love low end.
It's like a haunting quality to it, isn't it? Like it just sounds spookier because it's deeper.
It's so full-bodied as well. I think that's the kind of thing you get. You don't get too much, as you were just referring to then, tone shaping. You don't want too much spike, but you want the body of it as well. And I think that's what baritone really gives you.
Yeah.
Especially with kind of like that string gauge and the length as well, because there's nothing's floppy.
No, and that was on the neck pickup as well. So that's the position that's going to give you the most low end and the thickest kind of sound. And even then, it's still really nicely controlled.
The quote unquote warmth.
Yeah.
But I mean, getting that kind of low on another guitar, I mean, we'll show you that later, but it's hard to get. Yeah,
you can't really get anywhere near without. I think that's the main reason why you'd want a baritone, because effectively you're doing mathematical calculation, right?
Yeah.
You're taking the tone that you like, the pitch of the note that you want to get to. You're stretching that through whatever the length of the scale is and through the thickness of the string that you're playing it with. So you've got to add all of those things together and get the right tension out of it.
Yeah.
and you want to go for, usually like the rule of thumb is somewhere between £16 and £22 per string. And if you're tuned to B standard with standard strings on a standard scale guitar, you're not going to be anywhere near that tension. So your notes will just decay immediately. They'll have no kind of energy to them.
Yeah.
But you stretch that over a longer scale length, all of a sudden, with the exact same strings, the exact same tuning, it comes alive again.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what this is doing to that low register. It's awesome.
It can make it all bouncy
Yeah.
and fun, especially if you're going for your staccato, really aggressive pick attack.
Yeah.
Which is what you're going to do.
It is. Gotta be done. Can you guess what I use these for?
Can I guess what you're really brilliant at excelling at playing? I mean,
It's just fun, isn't it?
It is fun. And I think that's the whole thing about baritones, is that, as we say, it's not necessarily something that you come across every day. Is it something that you need to play every day as part of your daily instrument? Not necessarily. Is it something that you should have in your arsenal to have fun with? Absolutely.
100%. And particularly I find as a writing tool, it's cool. Because you could, talking about 8 strings and how this works well on a low F sharp, I can pick up an 8-string guitar and I know how to play them and, get around on it. But I will write completely differently on an 8-string to what I would write on this, even though it's exactly the same note, same pitch, same tuning for the bottom 5 strings. So there's no reason why it should turn out different. It just inspires you differently.
Yeah.
It's a really cool thing to do, and particularly on something that's as affordable as these are, to have that as a tool in your arsenal and just go, I'm not quite vibing to this today, just pick something else up. All of a sudden, you've a whole different dimension to your writing style.
Absolutely,
Awesome.
without a doubt. And I think it really kind of plays into the fact that, baritones, bass 6, scale length does matter. And it does allow an additional creative freedom. I mean, could you imagine playing what you've just done there and it's John Lennon doing it instead? You can't, but it's still the same scale length instrument.
Yeah.
It's whatever you want it to be. Are you going to pass that to Entwistle, who played one? Are you going to pass it to, Cream? Are you going to pass it to Robert Smith? Then, do you know the first person I ever saw play a bass 6 was Mark Hoppus?
Oh, really?
Mark Hoppus was doing, it's like Pepsi Live or Coke Live or something like that.
Yeah.
And they're playing Adam's Song. And he's playing a bass 6 whilst Tom DeLonge's playing his 335, and it's what's going on there? And I didn't know what that was.
You just knew it sounded cool and different.
I knew it sounded cool and it looked different. I was like, that's a bass with 6 strings, but it's like a big guitar. And the more you get into it and the more you play it, and the first time you pick one of these up, you're kind of almost enthralled, but equally intimidated, like, oh, how is this different? But then you play it and it's like, oh wait, I can still do my same chord shapes.
Yeah.
And it just opens up sonically.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's get into that, because there's a huge debate online about what's a bass 6, what's a baritone, what's a 6-string bass.
Yeah.
Let's just set the record straight on this one, shall we? Because I think we both agree on what the answers are pretty much.
Bold.
A bass 6 is a 6-string bass guitar. It's tuned an octave below a normal guitar. 13th
scale.
And it's designed to be comfortable for a guitarist to play.
Yeah.
That's what a bass 6 is made for.
Yeah.
A 6-string bass is not that. That's a bass guitar with bass guitar string spacing, bass guitar scale length. It's just got an extra low and a high string.
Yep.
So that's a different thing.
Yep.
Then a baritone is just anything longer than standard scale, conventionally 27 or more. And they are used as a guitar. They're not really a bass. You play them like guitar, you use guitar style tones, and that's what they're for. And that's why I think these are so interesting, is that they're kind of both the bass 6 and the baritone guitar all at once. You could, if you wanted to, play this as a bass guitar, stick it on the middle of the neck pickup,
You absolutely could.
roll off clean tone into a good bass amp, or you can put it in F sharp and play Meshuggah riffs all day.
Yeah, exactly, which a lot of people use it for. I think
it's a real low-tuned Swiss Army knife.
It
does everything.
Swiss Army knife. It does, yeah. And I think with these revisions of the 638 as well, Baritone VI, I think not only do they look like I think they look like they'll go for anyone as well. You don't pick this up and go, yeah, he's a metal guy.
Not immediately,
Or
no.
you don't-
Certainly,
you go-
like the ping. I mean, I love
Yeah.
the colour, absolutely love the colour, but it doesn't
Really nice
immediately
colour.
scream, I'm going to play gently
Yeah.
riffs on it anymore.
It's classy. Like anyone can pick this up. You like go to a gig and you're like, oh, she's about to play metal, and she rips into some like surf.
Yeah.
Like
Awesome.
you can do that. Country, surf. If you want to do rock, if you want to do indie, it's, as you say, a low tune Swiss Army knife.
Yeah. It's a wicked bit of kit.
It is wicked, and luckily we have the left-handed version as well, so everyone's allowed to play now. No crazy mods needed.
Everyone's invited.
Everyone's invited. So yeah, I think that's kind of like, you know, just a really short kind of like quick stop at why Baritones Basics are really cool, why we really like them, why, you know, scale length does matter.
Yeah, hugely.
If you want to play that length, get this kind of length. If you want to play these low tunings, I mean, you know, you can do it on a shorter scale length. Just need much bigger strings, as Ben said. You need the 16 to 22.
And eventually it'll cause you a problem. It'll kill your tone. If you have strings that are too thick, it just doesn't sound good.
And it'll really hurt.
Yeah, it's terrible to play.
It really hurts.
Yeah, it becomes a real
when
problem.
you've got a train track of a huge string there. So I mean, it shows how versatile something like the G4M 638 Baritone VI can be, especially in these fetching new Cullens with the you know, brilliant revision of this roasted maple neck on here as well. Swell, the left-handed version. But yeah, enough of that. These are available on the Gear for Music website at the moment, and a plethora of other baritones are as well, so feel free to go over there and check them out. I've been Adam.
I've been Ben.
Please let us know in the comments, if you had a baritone guitar, how would you use it?
Or do you have one already? And tell us how you do use it.
And if you've enjoyed it, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, and we will get back to them as soon as we can. Hopefully we'll see you again soon. Take care.
See you later.